Takeoff.
How's that for a precision takeoff? All right, Warbird Thunder is going to head out, reposition. They're going to come in here and do what we call an air start. You can start your routine from the ground, or in the case of Warbird Thunder, start it from the air, which means you take off, reposition, and then start the routine. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in from the right, here's Warbird Thunder. Entering on your right is Warbird Thunder Airshows. These are two World War II era ex-Navy advanced training aircraft designated as SNJs. The demonstration features classic aerobatic, showcasing the precision, beauty, and grace of formation aerobatics. This is one of the oldest classic, first formed in 1913. Formation flying is a skilled art demanding discipline and trust. Formation is designed to allow a group of aircraft to operate in proximity to one another with a high degree of safety. In order to deconflict and have that safety, the aircraft joining on or flying off another must have separation in 3 different axes: lateral separation, vertical separation, and horizontal separation. So the aircraft flying formation must spread out laterally, step down vertically, and fly slightly behind the lead aircraft at a 30 to 45 degree angle. For most of this performance, Warbird Thunder has 3 to 4 feet of separation. It is known for its elegance. It is the barrel roll. Since the 1930s, the barrel roll has been a cornerstone worldwide. In the 1940s, Navy and Marine Corps aviators had a few nicknames for the SNJ. It was called the Pilot Maker because of its role as a trainer, or sometimes Old Growler due to its distinctive signature sound, but it was most often referred to as the Jaybird. These aircraft were manufactured by North American Aviation in Leesburg, California, and are designed as an SNJ because they were Navy aircraft. The Army Air Corps and later Air Force had a version designated as the D6, and the Canadian Armed Forces flew a version called the Harvard. There are over 15,000 of these aircraft produced, and they are commonly referred to as Texans. Most military pilots of the greatest generation received their advanced training in a Texan, and without a doubt, the aircraft played a major role in training of our pilots for both World War II and the Korean War. Notice that the formation has changed. Warbird Thunder is in what is called a close trail formation. An aileron roll is a very common maneuver, but rarely flown while in close trail formation. This requires incredible precision and trust because the wing pilot is singularly focused on the lead aircraft. Now, the United States phased out the Texan by the mid-1950s, but service continued for decades in developing countries. The Texan served at least 63 nations worldwide. It was usually in a training role, and occasionally as a light attack aircraft or even as a fighter. The last Texan was retired in 1995 from the South African Air Force, an incredible 60 years of military service. From the left, we are now going to see a line abreast move. The wing pilot is on the right, and his sole focus will be staying perfectly aligned and synchronized on the lead aircraft. Warbird Thunder, the line abreast booth. Soto, CT, is in the lead aircraft and resides in Virginia Beach. He is a third-generation pilot and learned to fly at 17 years old with his naval aviator father as his flight instructor. CT earned flight instructing, towing banners, and also flying charter and freight. He has flown well over 110 models of aircraft and has been flying for over 37, both CT and solo, are airline captains at major airlines. Coming in from the right, Warbird Thunder. This next maneuver is dedicated to the men and women of our military and to the family members that sacrifice and support them. The Texan is both rugged and durable. These SNJs made in 1942 and 1943 respectively. With full pilot controls and both seats. Usually, the student would sit in the front seat and the instructor in the back seat. The Texan has a maximum speed of 240 miles an hour and a gross weight of 300 pounds. R1340 radial engine manufactured by Pratt & Whitney. The airplane has a max than that of the aircraft. The Pratt & Whitney Wasp series design was considered revolutionary and has received a historic engineering landmark award from the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. Now to transfer the R1340 600 horsepower into thrust requires a huge propeller. In fact, it is 9 feet in diameter. The occasional bark you hear are the propeller. are the announcer's mouth breaking the speed of sound. No. The occasional bark you hear are the propeller tips approaching supersonic speeds. Try saying that rapidly 10 times, would you? And occasionally actually breaking the sound barrier. Not occasionally, but quite often. Here we go with the barrel roll. Oh, you can clearly hear the propellers. It's that deep rumble after the airplane goes by. That's the actual sound of the engine. Everything else is that big propeller up front. And the thing to remember is while it's making noise, it's actually losing thrust. If you slow the propeller down, you can feel the airplane accelerate just a little bit more. So while they're making all of that wonderful sound, they're actually losing thrust with the airplane. Coming in from the left, here they are, Warbird Thunder. Remember, this is state-of-the-art more than 80 years ago. Warbird Thunder Airshows appreciates your support on social media where you can view great pictures, watch exciting in-flight video, and often see behind the scenes of what it takes to make an airshow team fly. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or at Warbird Thunder. Ladies and gentlemen, setting up for their photo pass from the right. Here comes Warbird Thunder Airshows. I love the sound of the Texan. And here they come. In the lead, Chris Thomas, call sign CT. And on the wing is Chris Moore, call sign Soto. Warbird Thunder Airshows. Alright, wait a minute. You're not done yet. You saw them take off in formation. Well, landing in formation, that's a whole other animal. So what we're going to do is we're going to come by here, and I believe they're going to do the pitch-up brake to gain a little separation between the aircraft, and then they're going to come in and land. Let's wait for it. They're out there burning up a lot of gas, having a lot of fun. I can just see people out there on the highway staring up at these airplanes. They sort of do get your attention. Here they come from the right, Warbird Thunder Airshows. All right, the idea is the lead pilot pulls up, the wing pilot goes 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then he pulls up. The idea being is to give them separation. Distance between the aircraft so that each one of them can land safely. Those of you who have ever been rear-ended out there on the highways, you know what I'm talking about. that is the least fun experience in a car, it's even worse in an airplane. So, to make sure that they can each land safely, they put a little distance between them. On the right, for their landing, here comes Warbird Thunder Airshows. "80 years ago, these airplanes were brand new. They were state-of-the-art. Built by North American Aviation, who went on to build a lot of airplanes throughout the years. They built the B-25 Mitchell, made famous in the Doolittle raids. Also, they built the incredible P-51 Mustang after the British said, well, we want you to build copies of the P-40. North Americans said, nah, we can build you something better. And they did. In the jet age, they started with the F-86, the F-100, and my personal favorite aircraft, the XB-70 Valkyrie. Here comes Warbird Thunder, ladies and gentlemen, taxiing back in. When they get close to you, please do me a favor, wave and holler, let them know how much you appreciate their being here today at the 2024 Leesburg Airshow. I'm going to wave. I hope to see you wave too. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the fun part. Oh yeah, there's a guy having fun. I love this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, it just doesn't get any better than this. Round of applause. For they should not yet. They can't hear you over the engine. I love it. You are at the proud today. That's the fun of having one of these old airplanes. Being able to take back short runs. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. How about a round of applause for Warbird Thunder?